Hey guys, we're back for another episode. This was finally back.
Yes, I'm finally back after what?
I'm back.
2-3 months?
Well, they don't know the months, they know the episodes.
Oh, well, yeah.
Man, we're right here with my boy Razor J.
What's up, everyone?
Hey, welcome, bro. Thank you for doing this for us. and
Yes,
shit.
sir.
Sure, man. Appreciate you guys.
So what we try to do, we try to get your story, how you got into the game, and then like you could kick like knowledge of things that you think you could share, like. Because we don't know if like upcoming barbers are watching or just people that are trying to start a business and they like to get ideas. And like I was telling you earlier, the way I handle my late customers is not the same that Global told me he don't play when them fools are late, right?
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people I don't feel like I handle it well because a lot of fools are my friends, so I feel like I gotta stop letting that part slide, though, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we all trying to go home to our families,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, so I feel like you might handle it a different way, también. So like to begin with, I want to know how you started into the barber game.
Well, first off, I just want to appreciate you guys for coming out.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no,
Patient
thank
with
you.
me. I know, like you said, barbers. We're in and out, man. In and out of the shop all the time, and we try to make the most of our day, right?
Right.
Whether it's tending to our clients, if we have family, we pick them up, or take them home, go eat, whatnot. But back to your question, I started maybe around 1999.
Oh shit.
Yeah, 1999, man. It wasn't really like where I wanted to be a barber.
Yeah.
It was more, hey, you know what? Let me pick up some clippers and mess around. But it wasn't really like, let me cut people up.
Yeah.
It was more, ever since I was a little kid, I used to like going to school groomed. I would tell my mom, hey, mom, like there's a lot of long hairs behind my ear. Can you
shit.
cut?
Trim them.
Trim them, because she was not gonna take me to the barber shop. She was always like, no, she was a single mom, so she had to save money and whatnot, and so she said, okay, well, this is the best I could do, is I'm gonna cut your hair with the scissors. And honestly, I mean, I didn't like it, but when I would comb my hair, it looked better than what it,
Right.
So I mean, I think that's what initially kind of got me curious.
Okay.
And fast forward a year later, I was still doing it in the summertime.
How old were you at this time?
I was 17.
Okay.
I was 17, and it wasn't until the summer of 2000 when I graduated where I had my clippers and whatnot, and I finally told myself I'm gonna start cutting my own hair.
So that's how it started with your own
That's how
hair.
it started. That's how I initially started. I started cutting my own hair. Mind you, I mean, I didn't know nothing of it. I remember one day getting home from the store, and my brother asked me, hey, what is that? Like, because he saw me bring a video.
Yeah.
VHS. Pop it in, and we're watching it, right? And it's an instructional video of how to attach your guards into a clipper.
Okay.
It was a little 15-minute video clip, and I'm just watching. I'm just kind of like,
You're
digesting
sinking it
everything.
in.
I'm just absorbing whatever it's showing me, right? And it's funny because it was a little 20-minute hot one. And I said, all right, well, it's go time, And then he's all like, well, you don't even know what you're doing. I'm like, well, I mean, I know that there's a half guard, a 1 guard, a 2 guard, a 3 guard, and,
Yeah.
And I started just cutting up my hair. And he's like, what the heck? And this was summer. I'm out of school already, out of high school, Thank God I graduated, and that was done. So that summer, I started cutting. Like I said, when I picked up the clippers, never in my mind was I thinking I'm gonna cut hair. I'm gonna cut your hair.
As a job.
Or as a job,
Or
I'm not gonna be
as a
barber.
full-time career.
No, it's just I just wanted, like
To
I
look
said,
fresh.
I just wanted to look fresh.
Yeah.
Because I remember my uncles, me and my brother, we used to get up early to go. You know how back then there was no appointment, so you had to be there at 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
You had to be there at 7 in the morning.
Back then it's like, hey, if you want a haircut, you have to be from this time, because from this time
bigger.
to that time, it's a long line.
Yeah, it's a long
line.
And
To this day, there's still some barbershops like that. Some.
Yeah.
And there's rarely, but those barbershops are just older people.
Yeah.
Older guys that have been doing it for years.
Exactly.
But now it's like, it's true. It's like this. Now it's an all appointment.
Yeah.
All appointment.
To be honest, that's easier though. For us, because I feel like you can manage your day, and then still be like, tell the wife, like, hey, get ready at this time. I'll be home at this time. We'll have lunch. Because if you don't take if you only take walk-ins way, there's no telling when you
yeah.
can go.
You're at the shop stuck basically.
So I think
Yeah.
that's why for me it works out better that way. I can make plans.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was just basically I wanted to look clean. I wanted to look fresh. I wanted to have a sharp, edge. Like I was saying, I would go to a barber shop and I knew my imperfections already.
Okay.
Like, okay, if they take this fade up too high, it's gonna expose a lot of my divs, bones.
Right. Yeah.
I knew exactly what I wanted to show.
Yeah.
And whenever I would get home and I would see the haircut, I wasn't pleased. I wasn't pleased, and it wasn't because I was picky. It's just because it's like I just told you, give me a low fade, and you're giving me a military cut.
Yeah.
Why are you exposing my head like that? Mind you, back then there was not a lot of young barbers. There was a lot of older men who dedicated themselves to just running
what they
that.
know.
Yeah, what they know, and running with the metal blade.
Yeah.
The 76ers.
Yeah.
And even then, there was not a lot of people that I knew personally that would do a straight razor. It was more like they would still use the safety razor. So.
Right. And a lot of people weren't even doing lineups.
No lineups at the time. There was no tapers at the time around 1996, 1994, dating back to then when I was in middle school. It was like you either get a squared back, round back, medium fade, high fade, or low fade, and that was it. There was no customization like now.
Like now, right?
Like now.
Like now, you could get a low taper with a high taper on the back. Back then, it was just low, and they stick
and that's
to
it.
it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man. I mean, that's how I initially got in to picking up the clippers and doing what I wanted to do with it, which was just maintaining myself to look fresh.
Yeah.
All right. So look, you pick up the clippers, right?
Yeah.
This summer, when did you like cut someone else that you were like, I'm good?
I was gonna tell them that. When did you officially tell people, say, hey, I cut hair? It's like,
you know what's funny about that? And this is what I tell people all the time. It's kind of cliche, you know how they say like, oh, well, barbering shows me. Like, honestly, I feel that I really do, because once again, I didn't want to cut nobody. I started cutting up my little brother, because he saw that I was cutting myself up, and he's like, I'll let you practice. We're in summertime, let's do it.
Who's gonna see my hair?
Yeah. So it wasn't great. It was
trial and error.
I was just learning on the fly, like, oh, here we are 4 hours in, and my mom's knocking on the door like, mijo, like, tengo que ir a trabajar. Like, you guys are in the restroom for like 4 hours already. The machines is hot. Hot.
There's a wire one used to get hot. Yeah.
And he's all like, it's burning, and it's just funny. It's comedy that we can go back and laugh at that, right? But so this is when I started cutting up people. People from the block and from my neighborhood were seeing that I was constantly looking fresh, lined up, little taper here and there, little fade, and they're like, hey, who cuts your hair? Like, you're always fresh. And I'm like, well, I do. And they're like, no, you don't. I do. Cut my hair. And I'm like, nah, I'm good.
It's like,
I don't want to cut your hair, it's
just for you.
It's just for me, and my brother. Well, granted, he's my brother. It was a headache sometimes, but he's my brother, so I'm gonna hook him up, right?
Yeah.
And it was like that for a couple years, man.
Oh, so this went on for years.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this was, mind you, this was what, 2000, right? I said 2000?
The early 2000s.
2002, same thing. I'm getting better, right?
But just you and your brother.
It's just me and my brothers. And then my older brother comes along in the picture, and now he's like, oh, you're cutting hair? Because he wasn't living with us. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just, oh, cut my hair. And I'm like, nah, bro, like, this is not what I want to do. Like, this is just for me.
Yeah.
It's just to keep yourself fresh,
because, I mean, I'm already saving money not going to the shop.
Exactly.
And not only that, I know that I'm not gonna spend money on something that I don't like.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And you're saving your mom money for cutting your brother's hairs.
Yeah. That too.
It's a win-win situation at the moment. But
and you were doing the job that you wanted. Because these foods were going too high.
They were going too high. I knew how to keep it low and whatnot, right? So he's like, cut my hair. And he starts bringing his co-worker on Saturdays. And I'm like, nah, bro, like, I'm not doing this. Like, and he's like, come on, we'll pay you. It's crazy because I still didn't want to do it after they said, I'll pay you.
Yeah.
Damn, and how much were haircuts at that time? Like $8?
At the barbershops, they were around $6. $6. I'm not lying to you. $6. I remember my mom used to, when we were younger, she was like, here's $15. Go to a barbershop, do your thing. And as I got older, I didn't depend on her, but It wasn't until my brother kind of told me, well, we're going to pay you. We're going to be here every Saturday after work. And now you got me and him. It brings me back memories right now. How I'm 18, I'm looking for a job.
Yeah.
This is not what I want to do. I don't want to cut hair. But he's there every Saturday.
Oh, shit.
He is there every Saturday, and he's all like, we're ready. He brings a 12-pack of Coronas. We're chilling, and we're in my room. And guess where I'm cutting them up? In the room. I had the lazy boy. I had the big screen. I had the little stereo. You remember the stereos with the 24 disc chain?
Yeah.
And we're watching USC football. Shit. And they're over there just, they just got off of work. So they're like drinking. They want to cut. They want to go out. And I'm like, okay, well, this is extra money, I guess, for me to go out and, go buy me a brew, go out with my friends and whatnot. And it became a tradition every Saturday. And the other people on the block, same thing. Hey, cut my hair. And I'm still like, nah. There was this one, his name is David, and I vividly remember him because he was the one who's like every day passing down the bike. Hey, Jesse, cut my hair. What's up, Jess? Cut my hair. And I'm like, nah, man. Just give me a lineup. And I'm like, nah. and mind you, like I said, it wasn't because I was,
too high. Yeah.
Right.
You just didn't want to do that.
I didn't want to do that. It's crazy because I didn't want to do that. Mostly barbers be like, yeah, I want to choose that.
I want to do that, right?
So one day I said, you know what? Let's do it.
Well, so you finally came.
I just wanted to do it so he could stop.
Stop, yeah.
Faded him up, lined them up, and he's like, you're going to cut my hair from my own, And I'm like,
damn.
No. Fast forward, man. We're talking about what, 2005? I'm already working a day job.
Okay, so right now you have a regular job.
Now I have a regular job. My brother's still coming on Saturdays.
Oh, shit.
He's still coming on Saturdays, and I'm cutting him up. My little brother, I cut him up, but not as often.
Okay.
Because now I'm not at the house as often. Now I'm just,
right.
When you can type of stuff.
Yeah, I'm out in the street, just running around, and then little by little, things start to shift. Personally,
yeah,
I find out I might have a baby.
Oh.
2005. Well, 2004. So 9 months prior.
So you're like, what, 21?
I'm 21. I have my day job. Now I'm thinking like it's gonna get real.
Yeah.
It's gonna get real. So guess what? I need extra money.
Yeah, that's when the haircuts came in.
That's when I officially told myself,
it's time.
This time. It's time. I mean, when you're pushed against the wall, bro, you have to start pushing back. Yep. So I telling everybody on the block, hey, you need a haircut? Yeah, I've been, especially my boy David. I've been telling you. And I'm like, all right, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be cutting from 5 in the afternoon when I get out of my day job till like 10. That's what it was. I started including Saturdays and Sundays into my schedule.
So you're working all 7 days?
All 7 days.
Before you continue, when you decide you're going to go full in, let's say in between that first month, did you get a lot of clientele or was it a slow process?
Believe it or not, man, it was pretty fast.
Yeah?
It was pretty fast. Then through the grace of God, man, to this day, he's always been blessing me, man, with word of mouth. And I never, ever had to promote myself.
Sure.
I never had to promote myself. It was just like, hey,
this so-and-so, can
I send them? And this was at the house. Mind you, this was at the house.
Oh, you're still not at a shop?
No, I'm not at a shop. This was at the house. This was in my backyard in a little porch with a
And how much are you charging right there?
I was charging $4.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
I was charging $4. $4.
$4 a haircut.
A haircut. And it was extra. That was my extra for Pampers, clothes,
milk,
whatever. I mean, we needed the extra, and then I moved out, obviously, from my mom's pad, and I had to bring my family into my own space. And I was cutting outside in my porch, and I told everybody, hey, I'm cutting here. These are the hours, and just hit me up. And that's what it was, man. And then the next year, I had my daughter, my baby daughter.
So back to back.
So back to back, and it's like, wow, now I need more money. So you start going harder, you start going harder. It's just surreal, man, how everything I look back, and I'm not gonna lie to you, that's probably, cutting hair is probably what kept me afloat and above water, because I was not gonna be able to do it with just my day job.
Yeah.
Having 2 kids, young, and at the time I was the only one working, so it
was a blessing.
It was a blessing, man. It was a blessing. So that's basically how I initiated cutting hair, and I cut hair there at my house.
14 years, then you went to a shop.
And then I went to a shop.
Damn. So you already had clientele.
I had clientele, man. It was like I said, it was very
fast.
Not even fast. It just came to me. I mean, we're talking about someone who didn't learn any techniques from anybody else. We're talking about...
Right, you learned it on your own.
Yeah, because there was no YouTube. There was no instructional videos. There was no internet.
Yeah.
And there was not a lot of people to compare it to.
Exactly.
Not only that, but if you were to ask a barber back in the day, can you teach me? They'd be like,
hell no.
Nah, you're going to take my clientele. We're from the same city. There's no way you're going to go up against me. And mind you, I didn't know a lot of barbers because I was isolated in my backyard and I had my routine going.
I feel like back then we didn't know a lot of barbers. Like,
no.
The only reason why I know a lot of barbers is because I'm in the industry now. But I feel like it was hard to have a friend that was a barber. But it feels like the pandemic opened that up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a little bit more. Now there's more barbers.
Yeah.
But it was hard to have a friend that was a barber.
Because true, once the pandemic hit and everything started shutting down, that's when you noticed more barbers that you didn't know they were around start popping up more on IG or
same thing with loncheras.
Yeah.
I mean, the pandemic did bring a lot of hustle out of people because
because you were up against the wall.
Yes.
No, you were up against the wall bad, because where else were you supposed to get money, knowing that if you were a full-time barber, where else were you supposed to get those funds?
Yeah.
And keep in mind, majority of these jobs at that time, when the pandemic hit, were laying a lot of people off.
Yeah.
A lot. Even when a lot of them had started, they were laid off. Why? Because same thing, pandemic hit. They kept the people they had the experience and all that, and pushed other people to go on unemployment and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's true. But there was more barbers that popped out now that you didn't know they were around. And now they're here today. Because why? They were hustling.
Yeah.
They were driving around. They'll drive to you. They'll come to your house and cut you up.
That's because the necessity was still there.
Yeah.
They still were working.
And the prices went up.
Yeah.
And that's true. A lot of people, so we're so used to being at the barbershop every week. Hey, fresh me up.
Yeah.
Why? Because I got to go out. Boom, boom, boom. Then pandemic hit, people started getting raggedy. I was like, damn, I need a cut. I need a cut. That's how my brother-in-law was when the pandemic hit. Raggedy. I was like, damn, man, I can't get the barber to come. I was like, so how much? I was like, dude, just cut your hair. Just
buzz it out.
Dude, I was like, no, I want to be fresh. I'm like, I'm like, dude, you know something? Me, honestly, I don't care for the haircut anymore. I just, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
The only time I will cut my hair like perfectly, and just in case if I want to go out with my wife, just to look fresh for the day.
Right.
It's like I told him we were gonna. I told him, say, hey man, cut me up Friday or Saturday or Sunday. We couldn't Friday. Say, hey, Sunday after work. All right. What happened? We ended up freaking doing almost 12 hours. I said, nah, dude, bro. It's just something. You're tired. I'm tired. Let's just go home and just call it a day. But yeah, it's just that's how it is. It was pretty hard.
And
then, so when you hit the barbershop, how does that happen?
Okay, so fast forward 14 years in my house.
Did you ever raise the prices in those 14 years?
Yeah, I did. I went from 4, and then I started seeing more clientele coming in. So I said, you know what, this is getting a little bit out of hand. I'm gonna have to raise the price because it's just too much. I'm working 7 days a week. Sometimes I would work till like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning.
Shit.
I'm just hustling, man. Even my mom till this day, she's like, man, ¿te acuerdas cuando estabas ahí cortando? And her room was, because we had like this little empty room. and I turned it into like a little mini shop.
A mini shop for yourself.
A mini shop for myself, like a little studio, right? And she would hear the machine until like 1, 2, 3 in the morning, and she's like, "You were really cutting?" I'm like, "I was, you know. I mean, it's hustling, you know." And so it went from $4, $6, $8, and you know, you start losing people like, "Oh, what's up?
It's too much money, yeah.
And I'm and 4, and then 6, and then 8, and then 10, and then 12, and 14, and I'm just raining $2, right? So fast forward, man, 14 years I put into the house. So I always like to say my story's a little reversed than everybody else.
Right.
So when I tell people like, yeah, I cut hair for 14 years in my house, they're like, well, why didn't you go to barber school? I'm like, well, how am I gonna go to barber school if I had 3 kids and they depend on
and
me
at that time you're not even thinking about
well,
that.
no, because I mean it's all money in.
Yeah.
It's all money in, and I'm providing, right? So why would I want money out?
Right.
Yeah.
So I had my day job in cutting, so everything was on all cylinders. Now it's everything's changing. The dynamic is changing. Like, what are you doing now? You have all this free time. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to barber school. I'm gonna turn full time.
Yeah.
No more 9 to 5.
That's it.
That's it. No more. It's gonna be on the side. It's gonna be full time. I want to see how much I can grow.
Right.
Let me tell you this, man. When I went to barber school in 2013, it was a whole new world for me because I didn't even know there was an industry out there.
Yeah, because you were just right here.
I was just right here hustling, cutting. My way, my method, but it was working for me.
Yeah.
It was working for me. I was obviously doing something right, and people were coming back, right? I was like, wait, what do you mean there's barber battles?
Yeah.
What do you mean there's battles? What do you mean?
Yeah. That's like, how I met Global.
Hey, I'm like, what do you mean there's an Instagram? What do you mean people are out here posting their pictures? What?
Celebrity barbers.
I didn't know all this. And these youngsters that are going to barber school are like, hey, bro, how old are you? Like, you're too old to be in here. You know?
So how old were you when you went to like 30?
I was 30. Was
that 2013?
2013. So I'm an older guy with a crowd of youngsters that are trying to get into the barber industry. You're a barber? How long you been cutting? And I'm telling them like, yeah, this long, and they're just surprised like, why aren't you at a shop? Why don't you have a shop? Why don't you have your license? You know, all these questions.
Right.
And now I'm feeling like, wow, there's a lot of catching up to do, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of catching up to do.
But the way I see it is like you kept everything in your own little bubble.
Right.
You know, because why? You're providing for 4. You're providing for yourself. You're providing for everything. You know, everything was just in a small bubble. You know, you were working. Why? It's like you said, money was coming in.
It was working for me.
It was working for you. The way I see it, if it works for you, why even?
It's like they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Exactly. You know? So it was good for you.
But it's funny how life works. That made you want to do something that opened your vision to be like, damn, this is bigger than
something. You know, you didn't know.
I'm sure that at that time people would probably be like, "Fool, you're just a barber." And once you hit barber school, you're like, "Bro, this is being a barber. This is dope."
Yeah. So I started thinking to myself, I go back home, right? And I'm like I said, there's a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
I started seeing a different technical approach. Right. I started seeing different cutting methods. I started seeing people using the scissor differently. I started seeing people doing clip over comb differently. Everything that I learned on my own was like, it's not going to go out the window, but let me just store it for a little bit because now it's time to learn something new. I went in there with an open mind.
Yeah.
And in 2013, because I know when I first went to a first barber battle, that changed my vision, fool.
Right.
Fools were red hair with lines, and I'm like, hold up.
Right.
These fools got all the swag.
They're dressed and nice.
Then, I don't know if you remember barber battles, fool. It was a barber battle, but they would have a sneaker battle.
Oh, a sneaker battle. Who brought the best shoe?
Who got the best shoe? And explain why your shoe is the best.
Yeah.
Oh, because I bought this shoe for this much, but now it's worth it.
Yeah, or it came from this side of town.
But you're just like, hold up. Like, you come here, and it's like a...
Leaving from at 3:30, rushing... catching traffic all the way to Anaheim.
But from where?
From downtown Long Beach.
Oh shit!
I was working at downtown Long Beach and just making my way to.
Yeah, because of that. Between those
Oh,
times.
that was
were-
rush hour.
Yeah.
Rush hour.
And at that time, fool, how much was barber school?
Actually, that barber school was pretty pricey, man. It was like $15K. Yeah.
Wait, so you're telling me it was 15,000
Yeah.
for barber school?
Yeah. I think that point is when everything was starting to erupt.
To erupt. So they knew that.
There was just so many people. I'm telling
Damn.
you, I met so many people that
Did you-
young, old.
Did you meet anybody that is still doing big right now?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, to this day, the industry has. I mean, it's like they say, right? You network with people,
Right.
and you wanna. Since you're in the industry, you gotta keep shaking hands, man.
Yeah.
You gotta keep shaking hands and never burn a bridge because it just circles around.
Because I know like 2 guys, bro. Because I still have a regular job because I'm still trying to convert, bro, to be a full-time
Okay.
right barber. I know like 2 guys that got their licenses don't cut hair.
Okay.
And I'd be like, bro, what are you doing? Like, once you get your license, it's
They got their
supposed to-
license, but don't cut hair.
But don't cut hair. And I'm like,
That baffles me till this
and
day.
I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, like what did you even want to do to begin
exactly,
with?
like, they're like, oh, my parents told me just to go to school and do something. I'm like, okay, they did it. Now pick up the clippers, bro. Like, there's so much money to make.
Yeah.
But and it gets me mad when they're like, nah, I'm just looking for a different job right now. And I'll be like,
Well, while you looking for another job, bro,
and
just
you
cut
got that
hair.
right there, exactly.
Just start doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's something terrifying when you don't know what's not secure.
Yeah.
Exactly, right.
What's not, because you're unsure of what every day might bring, right? And so yeah, man. I mean, being there at that barber school really opened my eyes, and it kind of excited me a little bit because now it's like it's go time. Not only am I gonna get my license, but I gotta make a name for myself.
Right? 'Cause
Yeah.
you're kicking it with so many people that are trying to grow.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh wow, look at their page, like, look at this cut, or look at how they're embodying
now
themselves.
you could compare yours, right? Like, oh shit, okay.
And you know what happened? I scrapped everything, bro,
From zero.
from zero, because I knew this is a whole new. This is
It's
a
a
whole
new
new ball
level.
game. It's
Yeah.
a whole new level. If
Would-
I really want to make it out in this industry, I have to make a name for myself, and
And
it
you-
was a lot of catching up.
And you have to be open-minded, fool. When
Yeah.
I started with the 0 to half open, 1 open. And there's nothing wrong, right? But it's like,
But there's so many ways.
there's so many ways that you could skip.
A step.
You know, like now you could start with the half guard open.
Yeah.
You knock all that out.
Knock
now
out all the way.
Now you just got a little bit to blend
Yeah.
now. You know, so
Yeah.
I tell people there's no way to do it wrong as long as you get it right. But there's always like shortcuts that you could get it the same,
same way.
quality, but faster.
Different methods, same outcome.
Like I don't
crazy.
know if you like certain people grab the hair, exchange scissors, then cut. I hate doing that, bro. Like it's like there's nothing wrong, but Johnny Compton taught me how to grab the scissors and the comb with one hand, bro. And you comb it and just knock out, comb and knock out.
Yeah.
And so when I see barbers do this and switch, I be like, well, you're wasting time. Like,
Yeah.
you could just pick that up and let's go.
Yeah. You know what? There's so many ways, and like you said, there's not a wrong way, as long as it comes out
As long as it
flawless.
comes out right.
Yeah.
You know, being at the barber school, like I was saying, it's something that pushed me. It motivated me to become and put my work out there in a way where I was gonna stay true to myself.
Okay.
Because you could see it, you know, it's like, okay, he's doing that, he's doing this, he's doing that. And it wasn't until I met a few of the guys at the barber school that gave me the first chance to work at the
At a
first barber
barber
shop,
shop.
yeah, in Downey. And then from then on, it was like, okay, now what's the next step? I gotta build an Instagram.
Did barber school show you how to go from just being a barber to like, hey, fool, at the end of the day, I'm a business? Or that didn't hit till later?
You know what's crazy, man? That I've already had that mentality of wanting to be
Okay.
a professional because I already worked at an office.
Oh, okay.
I worked at warehouses. I worked at, you know, through my resume, you have to be punctual. Obviously, you have to speak a certain way to your coworkers,
On time,
to your
not
supervisors.
just call out. Right.
So, I had that in me already.
You just had to.
Now
apply
I just
this,
had
right.
to enhance it.
Right.
Because remember, I was already cutting people at the house, so my people skills were already getting strong at that
Right.
point. Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's up? Hey, you have to be live. Whatever you're going through is like, hey, switch it up.
Yeah. That
because
stays
it's
outside,
about them.
Yeah. That stays outside the door. Yeah.
It's about them now. I'm giving you my full attention. I'm giving you my 100%. And not only that, but I'm giving you that haircut. When I was in barber school, my ultimate goal was just get my license and build my name.
Okay.
That was my two things that I had to work on. Because I already knew how to cut. When I was there, everybody looked at me like, hey, can you help me with a haircut? So it was almost like I was the instructor.
Right.
You know? Me being there, and it's funny because when I was there, everybody would call me the teacher, el maestro, you know? So
They looked at you like a mentor.
they looked at me like the mentor, but in my head, I'm like, I'm not. I'm
You
not.
feel like a
You're
student.
there.
I'm the student too.
Yeah.
But they would still praise me and be like, no, man, like, you know how the way you present yourself, you're already at that level. And I'm like, I get it, but I still have to stay grounded and put myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be above nobody here. I that's with the mentality I went.
It's like you gotta be this. You gotta
Man,
be
that's a good
humble and be the
mentality.
same thing. You know.
Because that's a good mentality. Because what if you would have been one of those barbers that be like, I'm better than all y'all.
Yeah.
And one of them
Yeah.
dudes becomes somebody, now he looks at you like, nah, you always thought you was better, bro. I
Yeah,
gotta, you know, like,
yeah.
so you close a lot of doors on yourself sometimes.
Yeah. I told myself I'm not gonna be like that because I didn't know everything. Mind you, I built everything from scratch from
Right.
what I
Yeah.
saw and from what I did
What you
hands-on.
learn by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you said, there was no YouTube, so there was no like, oh, it's right
This
or
is
wrong.
right or wrong. Exactly. It just looked good.
Yeah.
And so being there, it really opened my eyes to be like, okay, well, you're a student. You're not above anybody else. If they ask you for help, and even when they ask me, I'd say, you know what? I'm gonna teach you something that has worked for me.
Oh, okay.
Take it or leave it, and they'll take it. I look back and I'm like, and it's not even a long time ago. This was 2013, 2014. What, that was like, what, 6-7 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it
No.
was a reverse
It was
role.
like 9 years ago.
You know?
Because we in 2022.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
9 years.
So it's surreal, man, to say these stories and then people would, like I said, like they'll meet me and I'll be like, how do you know how to cut hair and you're here? Like, why aren't you at a shop? You should have mad clientele. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm backed up. But guess what? It's a new day, man. It's a new
Now
day.
you're here to learn what you're
Yeah.
supposed to learn.
I'm here to learn what I'm supposed to learn. I'm going to take that, get my license, and go full time.
So once you get your license, you go full in? Or was it still a process?
Oh, man, it was a process. You know, I was in barber school, I'm not going to lie to you, for 3 years.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit.
3 years. What had to be a year took me 3 years because I took a leave of absence twice.
Oh, okay.
There was just a lot of things going on in my life at that moment, man, that didn't allow me to be consistent,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
you know? But I was not going to give up. There was days when I wanted to give up, but I told myself, no, I have to get my license.
Right.
If this is who I want to be, I have to do it the right way. I get my license, man. Finally. Man, it was the most fulfilling thing, a big highlight in my life, to tell you guys, to be honest with you guys. A big highlight. Because we're talking about someone who started in the backyard,
Yeah, to
in
now,
my mom's
yeah.
porch, to cutting up people, to never promote himself, to never do a business card, to never have all those things people now have. And then you finally get that piece of paper. It was like, I popped the bottle, my boy, and I just had a drink and celebrated, you know? And yeah, full force after that. Full force after that.
Damn. But until this day, do you still talk to those, your classmates?
Oh, I do, man, all the time. I see people that did not know how to do one thing with a clipper, and now they're
Crazy.
They're dope. They're dope. I reach out to them. Hey, keep up the great work. It's so inspiring to see how far you came along. You know, like, man, it's so satisfying to see that, because I've seen them from 0 to 100. And I still talk to them, man. And I'll talk to anybody who reaches out.
Oh, okay.
You know, because I would have liked that back then. I would have liked for someone to answer a question for me. You know, and it's something that I want to leave behind. I'm not out here to. I mean, we're all barbers. We all have a story, but at the end of the day, we all have a common goal.
Right.
Right. It's to learn.
That's
to
why,
cut dope. To.
I think that's why sometimes when people be like, "Hey, bro, you could reach out to barbers," you got to remember too, it's not that easy because a lot of barbers used to, I don't know if you remember, like 4 years ago, every barber used to charge for information.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, bro, I learned that, like, hey, you want this? Damn, come through, I'll show you, but I'm gonna have to charge you. And I'll be like, what the hell? So that's why, like, I'm not intimidated, but I'm like, damn, if I reach out, he's probably gonna want money.
Well, it's because, you know what, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've seen egotistic, like, characters that they're successful, and then it's like, what happened to the true you know?
Right,
like,
right.
what happened to being that down-to-earth person?
Yeah.
And that's something I told myself I would never do, because at the end of the day, this is our career, this is our job.
Yeah.
We cut hair. We're not doing heart transplants.
Right,
True.
right.
You know, we cut hair, and I'm not saying that doesn't make an impact, because we do.
It does, because it makes certain people feel different, right?
Oh, yeah,
When
it's
you
a
get that
confidence
fresh cut, you feel different. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's true. Like, we gotta keep our foot on the ground. I was just telling Global, I had my peak moment where I had to sit back down, and I was like, damn, that was dangerous. I was always like kind of humble, fool. But Barbershop Connect was shouting me out, and I was like, that's weird, bro. And I was only like a barber 4 months in, so it kind of, my ego got a little to
No,
me.
you feel a little good, yeah.
So
of
when
course.
barbers would tell me something, I'll be like, I don't know, bro. I just got shot at. Right? Like, but then I would sit back down and I'll be like, okay, you got shouted out. Did you get any clientele from it? No.
Right.
You know?
Did you get a raise?
Did
No.
you get a raise? No. Like, then Global just had offered me a job, right? So that was hitting. But then I had to like sit down, like, fool, this is just people watching you, but people are not asking you for haircuts.
Yeah.
You gotta sit your ass down.
Yeah.
So I was thankful that like I kind of like was able to like sit back down, like, nah, fool, like, it's just shout outs. You're not getting more clientele.
No. It's exposure.
It's exposure, but you're not charging more anyway. You know?
Yeah.
So I had my little moment where I had to like sit down
Yeah.
and be like, oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, all that is great. It helps to expose you, but you can't get lost.
You can, right?
There's one thing I learned, and it's difficult because when you get it's flowing, you can get lost in it.
Right.
You really can, and it feels good when people say, "Oh, you're dope."
Oh, you're dope, yeah.
Or when I was, competing, to try to get my name out, obviously nobody knows you. It's like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? He looks like a grandfather already, or a dad out here competing with the young guys, you know. And you lose some and you win some, but then when you start to really showcase your work, it's like, oh, you're dope. Hey, what's up? Hey. And it feels good, you know. I mean, when you get complimented, it does feel good.
Yeah, it feels good, yeah.
Pero you stay humble.
Right.
You know, you keep it pushing, and it's like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to at the end of the day. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, it's kind of
put
like I'm doing my job.
I'm doing my job, and I'm putting a little extra effort. That's what it is.
True.
Because you're working for a goal, a destination. Right. You want to be, I don't know, you want to be successful at having a booked day or a booked week. And that was my goal, is to be booked. Because at the end of the day, if I'm full-time, that's what's going to pay my bills.
Right.
So my goal was to make a name, but get booked.
Not just the name.
Not just the name, because like you said, the name is only going to get you so far.
So far, and yeah.
But hey, what about your work ethic? Are you professional?
Right.
What good is it being,
Instagram famous,
so to speak? But yet you have
your clientele doesn't speak it, you know.
You have 2 people in 8 hours.
Yep. And that's bad.
So.
All right, so you get your license, you go to a shop. When do you start hitting barber battles?
This was 2015. 2015. I think it was the Mowdown. The Mowdown in Santa Ana.
I don't think I ever went to Santa Ana.
Okay, so I told myself, if I'm gonna make a name for myself, I have to go out to these shows. And a lot of people were like, why are you going to go to these shows? You're already older. This is for young guys. I mean, you don't even have tattoos.
Trying to shut you down, yeah.
Like, you don't even wear all that fancy gold. Because, I mean, like he said, it was like a fashion show.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But I told myself, hey, you know what? I'm in the industry now.
Yeah, right.
Why not just go experience it?
Be different.
I mean, I'm going to go in and one day tell my kids, yeah, I went to a barber battle. How was it? You know, you want a story to tell.
Right.
So I go and I entered the competition. You know, I started going in for competitions. You know, best design, creative haircut. Man, it was the most nerve-wracking thing I ever did. You're shaking. You're up on stage. You have the idea. The haircut comes out totally different from what you thought you were doing. I didn't even finish the haircut.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, man. It's not like when you're at the shop, you're comfortable. It's like they say, home court advantage, right?
Yeah, because now everybody's looking at you. And because I've been a model for Johnny. I was his model for a long time, fool. So even me as the model, you get that feel of like,
you're nervous.
This guy's dope. Then they look at your client. Oh, that's kind of cool. And they just walk away.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's not going well, right?
Right.
Even me, I can feel it. So I can see Johnny shaking and this and that. And other times he will take a fucking edible. He'll be like, hey, bro, I'm good. I'll be like, oh, shit, you fucked up. But you good. Like, just don't get nervous. Like, I took an edible. Like, you know, like. So, yeah, I know. Like, imagine me as a model nervous. So I could tell on the barbers.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, fuck, hundreds of people, bro, just watching.
And it's not just the people. Now you're intimidated because you're seeing these barbers who have been winning. Right. Yeah, you see this talent that you're like, oh, I've been seeing this guy win. I've been
number one right here.
Yeah, number one, and he's coming from this town, and he's coming from out of state, and now you're like, you're not only competing with yourself. They say, oh, your only competition is you.
Nah, hell no.
I never believed that, man. Like, yeah, you competing with yourself, but you got to be realistic. You are competing with someone else. You gotta do your homework.
And a lot of these fools, this is how I feel. Not every haircut is easy for me, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of barbers that every haircut, every type of hair is nothing for them.
Yeah.
They look at it like nothing, bro. And you be like, damn, this fool's. Like when we were doing it, Global was in the competition.
Oh man.
You know Edward Clipper Hands and Fade Master.
Yeah.
Fool, these dudes are like
at another level. Fool,
and then. You got these two brothers that were Clipper Hands and Fade Master. These fools are the fucking drip kings. Like, they're dripped out. Yellow hair. The other fool has dreads.
Jerseys.
Yeah. So you're just like, oh, these fools are overconfident.
Like,
right?
they know what they're doing.
Yeah, their confidence level, fool, was like, okay,
off the roof.
These fools are, oh my God, like, you know, like, and then Johnny will dress like normal. Like, just regular button-ups. So I was like, these fools are swagged out. Oh my God, you know, these fools tied it up to the throat, you know, like, so it was just a different feeling, like, these fools live barbering way, so I was like, oh shit, this is different.
No, yeah, and
that's crazy.
And I'm there making a name for myself. I told myself that's what I'm gonna do because the industry has so much competition, and not just competition as in like, oh, who's better. I'm talking about in local communities.
Right.
Why would I want to go get a haircut from you? What makes you stand out?
Right.
Right? So it's not just the price now. It's
the fame.
Not even that. It's just the way you take care of them.
Because think about it, fool, you could be a dope ass barber,
but you have a shitty ass attitude.
You have a fucked up attitude where you always make that fool wait. Hey, fool, well, just wait because I gotta go smoke.
Right.
After a certain time,
it gets old.
Yeah, you're dope, but bro, I always get the smoke break. Like, you know, so.
And then I still gotta pay you. Come on.
So like, it's just not the talent. Sometimes that shit'll change. Like, dang, okay,
it gotta be the overall package.
That happened to me, fool. Like, where fools will be like, hey, fool, I want to come to you now, and now, like, mind you, I feel like this was way better than me. Why? And I'll be like, nah, if I ain't cutting your hair, why not? I'm not competing with that, fool.
Yeah.
I see how you look in the mirror.
But you know what it is? Sometimes it's just that extra like punctuality, maybe. The way that you don't disrespect someone.
It hit me different when I would see how they would look in the mirror with the other barbers that I felt were better than me, and the way I would talk to them, and they'll be like, "You good, bro?" Like, what the fuck? You don't want to look in the mirror? I'm good. and they just keep coming
Yeah.
back, coming back, coming back.
Yeah.
Now they became loyal. That hits different because I'll be like, fool, I know that fool's more talented than me.
Right.
But maybe it's just
Your
that I'm
people,
always on
yeah.
time. I'm always polite.
Polite.
I never take a smoke break on this
Right.
fool. I never drink in front
Right.
of this fool.
Yeah.
Right.
So those little things, like you're a better barber than me,
Yeah.
but my
Yourself,
work ethic is better.
yeah.
Your ethic is better, and
Your respect to them is
or maybe something, even a common subject.
Even the conversations, maybe, bro.
conversations,
You know,
yeah.
like, think about it. You're talented and you're just quiet for, and you're like, damn, I don't know shit about my barber.
Right.
Meanwhile, I'm like,
Asking him about
Chopping
his
up,
daughters,
how's
or
it
how's the
going?
kids doing.
I'm making that fool laugh. You know, I'm asking that
Yeah,
fool. You know, like,
yeah.
oh shit, oh shit.
yeah,
Like,
socializing.
it's like getting a haircut while talking
While
to a
having
friend.
fun.
This is dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it becomes more like, hey, bro, I have these problems. Oh, bro, don't worry. It'll
Yeah.
get better. Then fools are like, damn, this fool listen.
He
I'll
listens.
go-
He's not
they go
judging
back.
me.
He's
He's-
not judging me. And they keep going back because they want to have those dope conversations, you know? Like,
Yeah.
so sometimes it's not the.
It's like they
off
say,
time.
right? Barbers are not just barbers. We're therapists, analysts, sports fanatics. Like we become a lot of people.
Yeah, voice of reasoning to everybody, you know, because it's true. There's a lot of guys that they don't know who to complain with, but when they go get a haircut, chopping it up to you.
You know what's
hey,
crazy?
this is going on.
You'll have boys that'll get married, you won't get invited. You have these clients that you've been cutting for a year, invite you to the wedding,
Right. Random.
to the baby shower,
Right.
and you be like,
Or they'll hook
Are
you up with a little like gift card at
Something, right, right.
Christmas, you know?
like, I had a client like that gave me a Starbucks $20 gift card, and I was like, hey, fool, you already paid me. He's like, oh, that's what I do for my barbers. That's like a great Christmas present.
Damn.
Some other guys invited me to their wedding, and I'm just like, bro, are you sure? Like, I'm your barber. Like, nah, bro, it's all good. I like
Yeah.
you, boom. Oh, shit. For sure, I'll be there. So, yeah, for like how you treat the clientele, it changes.
Your perspective of everything.
And that's to me, that's what drives me to be better. Not just the skill.
Not just a skill, in
Not just
person
the
wise.
skill. It's everything
The,
because
the social life.
it's your work at the end of the day, and it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
So why not be better at that too? And I think that's helped me propel my business. That alone, like the skill, it's obviously it helps because now you're able to give them an extra.
Right.
It's like the cherry on top.
Right.
Oh, damn, man, he could cut. Okay. So you
It
know.
hit different, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
true. Sometimes the way I get clientele, sometimes when I be at work, and let's say I see a fool with a beard, I just be like, hey, fool, who's your barber? I don't have one. Damn. Here's my number, dog. Like, I could fix that.
Yeah.
Hold on, you're a barber, but you work here? Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
I'm grinding. They hit me up, line them up once. That's it. They
And
be
now
there
he's
for
just
life.
and he's telling everybody at the job like he did it. Now
Yeah.
it's just like a domino effect.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Fool.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I approach people just like that. Like, hey, fool, who's your barber? Mostly beards, though, you know?
Yeah.
Mostly beards.
I don't grow one.
And then they be like, I don't have one. Hey, fool, let me line you up one time. I'll do it for free even if you want. Do it, they be like, what the hell? Oh, shit, hey, bro. All right, I'm going to stick with you. And that's it. They stick. They start bringing the nephews, the brothers.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
shit, that's
It's-
dope
it's-
as fuck, bro.
All it takes is that one, and it could open up a bunch of people. that come in.
Yeah.
Because the way I approached it was like, okay, you got to treat people how you walk into a store. You went to a shoe store, right? The way they greet you, you want to do that for your clients. Hey,
Yeah.
what's up, my boy? How you been? Right? Because if you walk in, you be like, oh, so dog. They be like, what the?
That energy, yeah.
I'm bringing you my money and you
Yeah.
hitting me with the little dab.
Yeah.
Like, so like all that plays, like it might sound like it's not a lot, but that's gonna make the difference if he decides to come back or not, you know?
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
That's
like,
true. That's true.
Crazy little thing.
Yeah.
So you start going to barber battles. When was your first prize?
My first. Oh, man. I don't even remember the date actually. I think it was 2017, maybe 2 years after.
It took,
And-
okay.
Yeah, it took me like 2 years, man, to finally get
And what prize was it?
it was first.
Oh shit! All right.
No, actually, scratch that. It was like 2016. It was like a third place. So
But how did that feel though?
it felt like I was getting closer.
Okay.
I felt like I was getting closer because I was losing a lot. and it was discouraging.
Because you said you were even not finishing sometimes, right?
Yeah, I was not finishing, or sometimes I would finish and then I cut. And you start to really observe, like, okay, so what is it that I'm doing wrong? And you have to go home and
Was
fix
it the nerves?
It was a lot of things. It was the nerves. It was cleanliness of the fade, shaves.
Oh,
it was just details at this point, you know. It was like, now you're going up, like we said, you're going up against people who are super talented.
Yeah, home runners.
And you're like, I gotta beat that. What am I gonna have to do? So you come home and you practice. Time me. Let me do this.
Timing.
Let me time me. Go ahead. 30 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. 45 minutes. Can I finish this in okay? Now I have to treat it like I have to finish in 45 minutes, and those extra 15 is just to make sure
clean.
everything's right. So you start practicing, and now you're like, oh wow, this is actually like a sport. Like you have to practice.
Yeah, right.
So now I'm like, okay. And then so I went third, and that felt good, because I'm telling myself there's light at the end of the tunnel. If I keep pushing, I will win.
Yeah.
And it was great, man, to obviously at the time you're losing and you get discouraged, but now that I look back, I'm like, I needed to go through that.
Yeah, learning curve.
Like, you need to go through it to appreciate it.
Right. Because if you would have just won, you'll be like, man, this is nothing.
This is nothing. I'm good.
But you went through all that, so you appreciate it.
Oh, man.
Like,
so the first time, man, it was breathtaking, because my son was my model all the time. I was always taking my son. Well, I was taking my kids all the time to Barber battles, because I would have them every other weekend.
So it's
hey, you guys are with me this weekend, so we're going to a Barber battle. Oh, Dad, what? They would hate it, but I made the best for it. Hey, there's tacos. You want tacos? Because
enjoy
there's
it.
tacos over there. There's food.
There's merch.
There's music, but they're little, so they don't.
They're like, yeah.
But I was using my older son, and then we were losing all the time, and he was just like with his head down.
Yeah, like, damn, I love it.
So fast forward, we're in Rialto, and my boy Dan, he throws a show, and he's like, my son's like, Dad, what's up? What are we gonna do? And I'm like, we're gonna do our best. And I was tag teaming with I don't know if you know Mayo.
No.
Modern day Picasso. I told him, hey, let's do a tag team haircut. And he's like, I'm down.
I think I seen your picture though.
Yeah.
With a tag team.
Yeah, it was the tag team.
On the design, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
So we do a tag team. We start setting up, and I start looking around to see who we're going up against. We're going up against the hitters, bro. Mad hitters.
So these are
people who have been winning Texas, Sacramento,
shit.
Vegas.
So you basically the fucking all-star team.
Yeah, right away in my head I'm like,
can you tell me 2 names of who were in the competition?
Big Boy and Yakuza Barber.
Okay.
They're from San Diego. Just seeing them already,
you were like,
it's already. He tells me straight up, leave the way. And I'm in my head like, bro, lead the way. Like, help me out. Like, you're more knowledgeable than me, And then I'm like, all right. And mind you, you're timed, a whole hour. Tag team, best haircut. And we're going up against, I'd say like maybe 10 teams.
Wait. So 10 teams at one time?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
At one time. Tag team.
Wow.
10 teams. Just like
stacked around each other.
And you can't just be like, no. Every minute counts.
Focus, yeah.
So I start going in, freestyling this whole thing, and he's just like, oh. And then people start gathering up like, oh,
what y'all doing?
Filming. And that gets a little bit like, okay.
Discouraging too?
Not discouraging, but you start to feel a little bit confident, because it's like, if you're standing here, it's because we're probably doing something right.
Yeah.
And so we're going in, right? Time's up. And I'm like, damn, let's check out the cut, We start looking at it. And we look at each other and we're like, we're happy with it. We happy with what we did. We're confident that we put our best out tonight, and that's about it. Bro, you come out nerve-wracked. First thing I do is like, give me a beer.
Oh,
I need a
man.
beer, bro. I need to relax, you know? Because the whole night is now now it's just anticipation. Fast forward, they start with the prizes, you know. The judges are like, all right, let's gather up. We're gonna announce the winners. Me and my son, you know, I'm just right there with my boy, and everybody at the same time is coming up to us still like, oh, that's a dope ass cut. Let me take a pic, you know. So they're going third place, second place, first place, and what happened was I told my son, like, well, did they give you a number or did they give you your name? And they're like, well, they only gave me this, and it's a little sticker with a number on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, that's even worse, because now you have to start, like, you gotta make sure you hear the number, you know?
Yeah.
It's not the names, it's the number.
And then the judges go and check out the cut detail, fool.
Yeah.
Sometimes they take out rulers. I never knew what the ruler was, but
What the fuck? But until this day, are they still barber
Oh,
battles?
there's still barber battles. Yeah, yeah. So now, I mean, just
Now I'm intrigued. Now I want to go see one.
oh man,
it's dope.
yeah, it's dope, man. It really brings out the best in a person, because it challenges you to get better. You start. When I went to my first bar battle, I told myself I need a lot of work to do to be at that level.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Fool, there's barbers. I'm talking 10 years ago when I was going. At that time there was barbers that were doing a fade in 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes, fast fade.
Fastest fade, fool. There's a lot of people, fool, that when you go, you'll be like, damn. I met Pacino there.
Mm-hmm.
I met Edward and Fade Master there. Global, I met him at barber competitions. And there's Success Addict, you know him, right?
Yeah, from New York, no?
From New York.
Yeah.
Fool, people that have like crazy stories. Hey man, I cut up fucking Snoop Dogg. I cut up Floyd Mayweather, and you just be like, what the
Fuck.
Yeah.
damn, all right. It's crazy stories. Fool.
So they said third place, boom, second place, and then that we're not getting called. So
Oh, yeah,
our hope
fuck.
is we only have first place. So we're sitting there, and I'm just with my head down, you know. I'm like, I gotta hear that number. I gotta hear that number. First place. They say the number, and I'm like, who's that? And my son told me, that's us. Oh, I was like, let's go.
Damn.
Man, that
son
was for the first.
happy. That was the first time ever, first place, bro. My son tells me, we won, you know, and I told him, well, let's go, you know, and we go to the stage. I bring them up. The judges are like, let me see, turn around, let's see the cut. And bro, that was so fulfilling, bro, after losing so many times.
Damn.
Losing.
That was just like rewarding,
and I
right?
was competing back then. I was competing with hitters, bro. I was competing with against Global. I was competing against the brothers.
The brothers.
I was competing against like people from. It was just too much to name, right? But when we got that first one, I think that was the one that broke the camel's back. Cause after that, I started competing. I started winning.
Oh shit.
I was winning over here, I was winning over there, and I started making a name for myself. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's Razor J. Oh, that's Razor, bro. Oh, you know, and you started to get that love, you know, and my kids started seeing it like, oh, you won, and I was bringing trophies home, you know, cash prizes, and it felt good. But ultimately, for me, it was more about getting better. I wanted to get better. I just wanted to get better because, like I told you, I was coming from cutting at the house. This. I wanted to get better to be at that level. Not necessarily just to win, but to get better.
Right.
And when the wins came, I was like, okay, well, the wins are there now.
It shows that I'm growing.
It shows that I'm growing. It shows that I'm finally getting that recognition.
What was the biggest price? Because I knew at that sometimes it was $500.
Oh well, that was one of them. It was 1,000.
It was 1,000.
It was 1,000. And I broke my son. I broke him off with like $1,000. like $2.
What competitions did you win? Because I went to the Long Beach Convention Center.
I won there. I won at Long Beach.
I went to the one in Inglewood. It was like a club where I don't know if you remember, the real Rick Ross was there, the drug dealer. Pacino was there, VIP and shit. I was like, what the fuck?
No, you know what? The ones that because you gotta remember, I started going to shows like in 2015-16.
I think that's when I was going. I think I was going like 2013, 2014 maybe.
Right, the ones like at Exotics. I went to
For
one
Exotics,
yeah,
MD.
I went to a couple of those, but I went as a spectator. I just went.
Oh,
and
you were okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and even then I was like, man, this ain't for me. This ain't for me. It ain't. But it wasn't until I said, hey, open mind. You're in this industry. You gotta take it for what it is. Get in where you fit in.
Right.
You know, get in where you fit in. Don't see it as like you're trying to be that person or XYZ person. Just be yourself and get in where you fit in and build your lane and you'll have your following. And sure enough, man, like it really did open a lane for myself. I did open a lane for myself and I got a little following. And even to this day, you know, it opened doors for me to go do classes at barber schools, judge barber battles.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's just...
How did that feel when they hit you up to be a judge?
Oh, man, at that point, that's when I said, you know what? It's finally, like,
It's official.
It's coming together. Yeah, it's official. Like, I'm getting that respect. I'm getting that recognition. I'm not going to say I done a lot for the industry, but I did my part.
Right.
For who I wanted to be. And yeah, it kind of solidified all the hard work, basically all the hard work for me to just recently I went to go do I went to judge in Temecula, a barber battle out there, and it's like people always say too, like, well, why do you go? And I was like, well, because this is the industry. This is something that I belong to. Like, why wouldn't I want to be a part of it? You know, as clownish as sometimes it could be, you know what I mean? Like, but it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna represent my craft.
Right.
Yeah.
I still respect the craft. I still respect the barber, what it is entitled to. You know, it's what it is. It's the public service that we do. Like, I still hold that value to it. You know, call me old school, but I still do a hot tail shave. I still do a massage. I still do a facial, because that's what barbering is, you know, and I'm going to utilize it to the best of my abilities. A lot of people always say, oh, well, it's about this and it's about the flashiness and the videos. And
nah.
Okay, utilize it, but don't make it something that you're not. Enhance your look, but stay true to yourself. And that's what I stand true to. Like, it's my craft, you know, and now my son is cutting, you know.
That's tight.
My son is cutting now. That one model I used to take, now he's cutting. He got 6 months in already. So
how old is he?
He's 17.
Shit. Okay.
He started when he was 16, so ya me gana por 2 años. You know, he got 2 years on me. I started when I was 17, 18. He started at 16. You know, and...
But did you show him the rope, how to cut and everything?
Yeah, so I'm showing him now. I'm showing him my technique.
Damn.
You know?
So your son has his own little clientele now?
Now, well, he just started, bro, 6 months. He's still learning. He don't know how to get through a full... I go through it with him, but he's cutting up his friends.
Oh, that's good.
You know? But he has a way bigger advantage than I ever did.
Yeah, because you're there to guide him, to help
I'm there
him.
to give him 22 years of
experience,
knowledge, bro, and experience.
And even then, when you're not around, he got YouTube, you know, like...
Oh, but YouTube, I to this day, I tell him, don't look at YouTubes. Don't look at videos. Learn what I'm going to give you, and then you got to... And then you build your own formula. Because I'm giving you the fundamentals, you know?
Because I feel... That's what I was having that conversation with somebody the other day. YouTube is cool if you don't got nothing to get the idea. Because them fools don't show you how to erase the lines.
Right.
Them fools make it seem like they just do this and it's a plan. And I tell people all the time, that's edit.
Yeah.
Don't get fooled. Like, it's not going to work like that. You still got to go back and hit lines, you know? So I always tell people, just get it for what it is. get the idea,
Yeah.
and then tu solito, you're gonna learn that.
With trial and error, man.
Yeah.
And even when I'm doing a class, and I tell them, it looks easy because I'm doing it. But here are the steps. Now you gotta practice. It's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah. You see something, man, I could do that.
Right.
And you do it and you don't do it.
You step into the plate, it's not as easy as you
It's like
thought.
watching a boxer, man. I could have beat him. No, you can't. He would have knocked you out.
It's not only that. It's like, come on, these guys are training 6 to a year, conditioning, running, jumping rope, and you're gonna tell me one punch is gonna do it for you? You know,
one punch will break your jaw. Call it a day.
Yeah.
That's how it is. You know, a lot of people don't understand. Different industries do it different ways.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like you guys are barbers. You know, it took you 22 years to learn your craft. You've been on how long now?
6 years barely.
Yeah.
6 years,
I feel so new compared to you and Global.
You know,
but
he's learning his
here's
craft.
The kicker for you. My 22 years doesn't mean I'm already dope.
No.
I know people who've been cutting for 2 years and they're already at my level. It's just how bad you want it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just that dedication. It's
Yeah,
just
that's true.
that work ethic.
Yeah.
It's like I tell my son all the time. I tell him, look, just because you have the advantage that I'm teaching you, don't mean you're gonna catch up.
Yeah.
How much
You
do
gotta
you
put in
want it?
that
Yeah.
work,
How much
yeah.
do you want it? How much work are you gonna put in? So he's like, nah, you're right. You know? And everybody that's in the shop that tells me, oh, this, that, and I'm like, look, bro, I get it. I love the compliment, but we're all the same, my boy. Like, I don't want to be up there like that.
Okay.
Nah, it's just.
I just came to do my job, and if I'm doing it good, it's because I'm pushing myself.
Yeah.
It's because I got a bill to pay. It's because rent's due. You know.
Right.
So that's my drive. It's literally basically what I push for is for my fam.
Yep.
For my family.
Yeah, that's tight. Bro.
That's
And
crazy.
If you could name like 5 top barbers, who you put in that top?
Oh man. Well, what would you categorize it in? Because there's so many that.
That'll be up to you. Talent, humbleness,
Style.
whatever you feel like. Okay, no matter what, this was top 5. And I always tell people you could judge it on what you want, because I know fools go.
Man, you're putting me on the hot seat because when it's
The reason why I always do this, because I want other people to know that the industry, there's always going to be like a Kobe for someone. There's a LeBron for somebody. There's a Jordan. Like for me, it's LeBron. And I know people will be like, "Oh, you crazy, it's Kobe or Jordan," you know?
But it's not for everybody.
So I feel like everybody has a different top 5.
Yeah.
Man, top 5, man. This is tough. I don't even think I've ever got this question asked.
Like your top 5, like your specific top 5, like the way they work, the way their styles, like their humbleness, like.
Couple names that always, no matter what the combo is like, damn, these fools come up.
Well, look, I'm gonna tell you straight up. Right now, honorable mentions that I can say that have propelled me to grow in cutting, because I've worked alongside of him, is Fernando's Global Cuts.
Okay.
My hat's off to him, because when I was working with him, I'm not gonna lie to you, man, every day was like a little battle between me and him.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, like friendly though. Friendly.
Yeah,
So he was always pushing you, like.
Yeah.
Mindset's
like when he was cutting, I'm like, okay, let me be a little bit faster than him right now.
Okay, yeah.
So he's doing a design. I got a design coming in right now in an hour. Let's see. And I would tell him.
So it's like you were just basically saying, you put it in your own mind. So, okay, this is a competition against him.
Kind of like keeping your sword sharp.
Yeah.
It's my iron sharpens iron.
Yeah. So you're sharpening your skills just by looking at him.
Looking at him, because I was right in front of him.
Which is good, because that means you was never letting your guard down. You was always.
And
it's kind of like
laugh.
being a boxer and you're always in the gym.
Yeah. And it's funny because he would laugh, and to me it was like, well, to me it's serious, bro. Like you up there, like you used to win a lot. You know, you beat me a couple times, and I want to get better. I want to get better. And when I was working at his shop, that's what I told myself. I'm like, I'm gonna come work with him because he was cutting up, celebrities.
Right.
His name was already up there.
Yeah.
He knew how to market himself. So me being there those 2 years, it was like, he even taught me like, okay, when you compete, look out for these things. And then me and him, we went on a tag team together in a barber battle, and we won, but
shit.
to me that's, and I'm saying him because I was there with
You
him.
were there. You witnessed, right?
I didn't just see it through the lens or through the videos. I could actually
witnessed it, yeah.
I witnessed him every day cutting, like, oh snap, this will finish that haircut pretty quick, or look at his blade work. You know what I mean? So it made me okay. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I got a haircut tomorrow that you're gonna like,
So you were pushing yourself every day.
Every day with him.
Those 2 years
Yeah.
you were there, it was just a constant. You're bettering yourself.
To me, man, every time I tell myself, wherever I go, I'm gonna try to utilize the positives to my advantage.
Yeah.
Right.
If I'm working here, I'm gonna take the best out of whatever I can learn here. Whatever I can learn here, the best out of it from here. It's almost like peeling, a potato.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to it and start putting
Yeah.
it in the fryer and finally eat my French fries.
Yup.
So it is. I'm gonna have to say him because I worked with him. Man, but there's so many. I know Diego is is up there
Okay, Diego.
from what his work ethic, his design work.
I wonder if that Diego's the same Diego that one time at a barber battle, this fool won first place because he did a portrait on himself.
No, you know what? I think you're talking about some other guy that did a portrait of himself. Wasn't his name Filoso or something like that?
I'm not sure, but I was I
This
seen
fool
that. You were supposed to have the best design or the most unique, something like
Yeah.
that. This fool grabbed the fucking mirror, bro, started doing that. People were like, what the
I
fuck this
seen
fool
that.
doing? He did a portrait and people were like, oh, what
Yeah,
the fuck, fool?
I
You
seen
crazy.
that in Anaheim.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if this was Anaheim or if it was the one. Man, I get them confused. If it was the one in Inglewood or the one in Frisco. Man, but this fool did some crazy shit that I was just like, oh yeah, this fool, yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's some other level, dog.
So he did a portrait on himself.
On the back of his
So I did
head.
a showcase in Anaheim for my boy Lamar, right, at his shop. And tell me why he sits down and he puts that mirror, that three-way mirror?
The three-way mirror.
And sure enough, he starts doing a portrait. And I'm like, one thing is doing the portrait like right here.
Right.
And now he's doing it on his own head and he's just looking, nah, bro, this is, this is too much. It's just, and that all falls back to being artistic, I think.
Right.
I think it all falls back to being artistic. I know for me, when I do my designs, I translated all that because I used to like doing a lot of penmanship, a lot of calligraphy, a lot of cursive, because I used to like paint back then, I used to paint,
Okay.
I used to draw a lot. So when I stopped doing that, I told myself, like, I need to start, like, express myself. How am I going to do it? So, luckily I've been fortunate enough to have clients that allow me to do that. Yeah, like, hey, do a little freestyle. Or, hey, I saw this logo. Can you do it? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this shit is hard, bro, but I'm going to do it. But it's you have to be confident, because if not, you're going to lose either one, a client, or two, you're not going to get better.
Yeah, you got to try it.
You got to try it. And sometimes people always say, like, oh, it looks dope. And in my head, I'm like, nah, it could have been better. But then they post it and they're like, look what my boy did. And then they're like, oh, that shit looks dope. Let me get his number. And
it goes from
so
there.
it kind of like, it's people approved, like. No.
But I feel like a lot of people, when they're talented, no matter in what area you are, it's never good enough.
I'm not gonna lie. To me, I feel like I'm never good enough either.
Think about it.
When
Canelo does a knockout, I think I could have done a little better. Everybody's.
I look back, man, and I see pictures of my stuff, and I'm like, why did I leave that there? But then it's like, what are you gonna do with it? You're gonna leave it, or you're gonna do better?
Right.
I think to me that's how I approach it. Okay, next time I'm not gonna do that, and just to not settle. I think what I can tell people out there is to not settle, grow, learn, stay in your lane, and stay true to yourself. I mean, barbering nowadays it has exploded into a variety of things.
Has.
A variety of things.
I think right now it's like the melting pot of barbering.
Oh my goodness! Like now, people say, "Oh, I work out of my living room," and I'm
Right.
like, "What?" And it works for you? I get paid. Bills are getting paid.
Fool, I know barbers that quit a barbershop to go work at their crib. So it
Yeah.
was the other way around.
Yeah, yeah. They have studios now. They're
Yeah.
working alongside like beauty techs,
Yeah.
eyelashes.
Yeah, my
Like-
wife, my wife does eyelashes, eyebrows. You know, when she can. You
Yeah.
know, when she can. But I never knew how much it was when she did it. It's a pretty penny for a majority of this stuff. It's a pretty penny.
Well, that's what I'm
dude.
saying. You can make whatever you want of it.
Yup.
You create the life that you want.
Right.
Like, if you want to be here, you could be there. If you want to be here, if you
Then
want
you're gonna be
Yeah.
there.
And she does it out of our living room. Just one sit down. It's two. I think her last client was this Sunday. It was like one something, but it was like a $40 tip. It was like $220, I think.
You're right. But that just shows.
I was
you.
like, it shows you. It's like, damn, they actually like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Now she has the girls co-workers hitting her up. Hey, you know, what days are you free, or what day we could do it? I want you to do the same thing. I was like, hey,
if it works,
if it works, it
Yeah.
works. Do it. You know, that's your money.
yeah,
I'm not pushing you. Hey, give me this, give me that. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know, if it's happening, it's bringing you the money, hey, kudos to you. Do it. You know, go for it. At the end of the day, they'll still get paid no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like, because she had told me she wanted to do it. Like, all right. It's like, oh, it was like $7,000 for the school.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, fuck
But
it, you
the
know.
reward is there.
But
man.
the reward, yeah.
The
I was
reward
like,
is there.
I told her, fuck it, you know, you want to do it, do it. But I was gonna give her the money for it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when her dad heard. Oh, it's like, you want to do this? Like, yeah. All right, give me a second.
Wrote her a check.
Wrote her a check. Here you go. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's like, don't pay me back.
The investment, huh?
I was like, what? And when that day happened, I was like, what the hell is going on? What's going on? It's like, all I care is you guys
do
do
what you
better.
like. Yeah,
do
do better.
better.
Yeah.
Not for yourself. Do it for your little one.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I care. It's like, you don't have to pay me back. Just do you.
Yeah. I think me as a father, that's what you want. You wanna see that your kids are doing something. I mean, it's work at the end of the day, right?
Right.
You want to see them doing something that they can get up every day and say, I like what I do.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're happy, right?
I mean, I go to work every day. My knees are hurting, you know. My back is because I'm getting older.
It starts barking.
But guess what? I like what I do.
Huh?
I like what I do.
Fool, Fridays and Saturdays when I just cut hair, dog, I enjoy that shit. I skip meals, fool. 'Cause I'm
Oh
just
man, don't even tell me about skipping meals.
you
bro.
know, you're just cutting it. You be like, what? Oh shit, it's 1 o'clock. Oh shit. All right, I gotta eat, but I got 2 more. It's cool.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
cool.
It's just because you get along. That's why I be saying, like, when I have clients that I don't really get along, it's kind of like, bro, like, if you're gonna come with a Fuchi face, you should just look for another barber. I don't want to cut somebody that I can't get along with. Like,
Yeah.
then why you even coming?
But
you know?
but that happens natural. It happen. I think what happens is because even me, like I've had customers who would come and we don't connect, and
Yeah.
it's okay because it's como dicen.
No, but I mean like clients that got mad because like they were late or they did
Oh,
something.
okay.
And then
That one moment,
I
yeah,
make fun of them,
right?
Or something,
And they
like-
were not having it that
And
day.
they're now when they come the next time, they just not having it.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, why you mad with me? Like,
Yeah.
because of you, like, you know,
Yeah.
like, if you're really gonna come like this, then don't come till
You're good.
you're willing to come in happy. Like, cause like I said, cutting a client that's mad at you for your fault, for their fault, pues, is like going to a job where you don't even like to be at.
Yeah.
And that's the whole purpose of becoming a barber. You enjoy what you do, you know? So that's one thing I'm trying to like get better at, and like just like either be like straight up like, hey bro, if you're gonna be like that, you gotta bounce.
Yeah.
Like your little $30 ain't gonna like right? Like your $30 ain't gonna like make me rich. So if you're gonna come with that face, bro, just go somewhere else. Like.
Yeah, no, and it's valid. It's valid because at the end of the day, we have tough days, bro.
Think about it.
We this is something that I always said too. It's like you gotta understand. We're dealing with like 8 to 15 people a day, where we see different personalities. So we have to think about it. You just finished an hour with someone talking about, hey, my dog passed away.
Right.
And now you got to put that like, hey, my condolences. I'm sorry. How can I, you know? And then the next guy comes, hey, I just hit
I
the
just got
lotto,
a raise or something. You're just like,
and,
oh shit,
now you got to switch. And it's so much energy that you
and people forget, we have our own
problems to deal with.
We have our own shit. But we leave that behind. Because like we're the doctors right now.
We're the doctors right now. Like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
And that's what I tell people, like, bro,
that's true. You guys,
we give you like we give you a good service without complaining.
Yeah.
The least you could do is do the same. You're mad because I made fun of you for you not showing up. Then pay.
Pura carrilla, ¿verdad? Pura carrilla.
And I tell people, fool, like, if you're not gonna call no show, expect that I'm gonna roast you, you know,
or charge you.
Send me the money. Hey, fool, look, don't roast me. I don't want to hear it, but ahí te va la feria, like, you know, like, then I'll leave it alone. But then they come back mad, and I'm like, come on, bro, you can't get mad because I made fun of you. Like, you wasted my time, you know? Like, you gotta go to work in a bit. But you want to leave off with some good words for the new upcoming barbers, or people that just, like I said, people that just want to start a business, because everything falls back into just being a great person, a great business person, or have great work ethic at their jobs that they love already.
Yeah.
You know?
I think one thing that I want to emphasize is, if you really want to better yourself, the best way to start is to emphasize on what kind of barber you want to become. If you don't mind being behind the chair, that's fine. That's what you're gonna attract.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna attract at the end of the day. You can't be mad at yourself if you attract nothing but people who come in late. They come in late maybe because they see that you're always late.
Yep.
If you want to attract a high-paying clientele, well, guess what? Iron your shirt. Guess what? Comb your hair. Talk a certain way. Firm handshake. And it got to be consistent.
Right.
Not just in your haircuts, but in everything. The way you shave. The way you apply the hot towel. The way you give that extra, like, care for someone's service. I think what has helped me personally has been, if I stay consistent in what I do, even in the service, if I stay consistent, that person's gonna be like, I went to this barber, but why didn't he do a razor dip?
Right.
Why didn't he shave me behind the ear? Why didn't he apply the hot towel? Why didn't he give me that massage? You know? So I think that's what separates you from the rest, is the extra stuff you do. Or, hey, I'm gonna reach out to you. How you doing? Just letting you know, I'm not working today. You gotta be professional, man. I mean, a lot of people wanna be professional. They say they're professional,
and
but
not.
they think just offering a dope haircut is all it takes. It's no. That's probably like the last thing that you should be worrying about. I think what you should really worry about is
people skills.
People skills. You welcome somebody, like you said, shake their hand, ask them, hey, how you doing? How you been? And just be open-minded. Don't act like you know everything, because even I don't know everything. There's things that I learned from a youngster. There's things that I learned from an older person. There's things that I might learn something from you today, and you know. I mean,
getting what you're saying. I think that's why I stopped going to barber shops. You know, because there were some barbers. It's just. There's no respect,
and they thought that you were a number instead of a person.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So that's why I stopped. I was like, you know something, instead of just going and waste my money, but somebody's gonna be like that, I'd rather just grab the
clippers.
Get to the point, like, you know something, boom, cut it off
Yeah.
and just call it a day.
And that's one thing I had to adapt when I started seeing barbers treat clients like that. Like, hey, bro, I don't got time. Just, all right, maybe I could learn from that.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I'm busy right now, but you
But
could get my number down.
Get my number and we'll figure something out.
Some fools like it and some fools don't like that.
Right.
No.
They want everything
It
there.
was weird. There's clients that you could have 10 people, but they'll be like, no, let me sit down right now. Like, bro, just get my number and I'll text you when there's 2 people left
Mm-hmm.
and you could just walk in. Nah, I want to wait.
Yeah.
Why would you want to? But if that's what you
No,
want,
but
then fine, you know? Like,
that's the way I see it. It's even better, you know, like that. It's like, hey, you know, here's my number. I'll text you when there's 2 people.
Yeah.
That gives you time to go do if you
What you gotta do, right?
Yeah.
you know, instead of okay, I'm gonna wait.
I think at the same time, you know what it is? I think a lot of people like that barbershop feel and they just like those barber conversations.
Either that or they just
Or they
want to
don't-
get away from home.
Right,
You know,
right,
they
that
want to
too.
watch whatever's on TV. I mean, sometimes even I mean, I work with a booking app, and I had to do it that way because I have responsibilities outside of the shop. You know, picking up my kids. I'm on a
Right, right.
schedule, so
So you don't want to just be blah, blah, blah. you
no.
take, right?
And it, I think at the end of the day, it benefits the client.
Yeah.
Because he knows at what time he's
Right.
coming out. I don't know their schedule, you know. Maybe for some reason they assume I might be there all day, and it's like, no, I got
Right,
a life
you're
too.
right.
So I'm paying this monthly to make your life easier.
Right.
A lot of people always say like, oh, it's for you. No, hold on. It's
for
for
you,
the
yeah.
client. It's to make your life easier because let's say you go out. Oh man, I got something going on tomorrow. It's 2 a.m. He can go on the online booking app and do it without him feeling that he's intruding. And then, man, I can't text him at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But you do have those people who have no shame, and it's like, hey, my boy, I need that 8 a.m. You know?
Man, there's times that I wake up at 7 a.m., bro, and there's those messages that were at 3 and I'm like, bro, what are you doing at 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's true. And I think it's better just book it ahead of time,
Yeah.
hey. Because there's people that do have things to do.
Yeah.
It's like, man, okay, I'll do this and I'll be free by this time and
Yeah.
this time. But if anything doesn't happen, hey, bro, I can't make it. Shoot it to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's why you like even told like, you know something, I can't. I could just give it to your next person, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, nothing's perfect. If
No.
it was a perfect world, everything would be dandy,
Right.
right? But as
Things happen, life happens, you know, so.
A barber gets busy. It's because they're working.
Yeah.
It's not because they don't want to answer.
Right.
It's because they're working, and the reason you're hitting them up is because they're good.
Cool. I got friends, Gabriel.
Gabriel?
They'll call me. I don't answer because I'm in a cut. When I'm done, I'll text them. Hey, what happened? Oh, forget you. Fuck you. You don't answer my calls. Like,
It's
bro,
like-
like, I don't like to answer in between
Yeah,
haircuts.
because, I mean, you're
it
giving
just,
them-
It's
yeah.
you get what? I'm giving you my time. Like, besides paying for the cut, I give you my full attention.
Yeah.
Like, so I tell people, like, bro, when you call me or text me, don't take it personal. If I text you back, that means that I got another appointment. I got time to look at it.
Yeah, to text you back.
You know, text you
and
back.
even that takes time.
So
And it's
certain
just-
people take it personal. So I'm like, cool. If you're gonna take it personal,
Yeah.
I don't care. Bro.
No. I mean,
Yes.
you gotta understand that. How are you gonna like want to charge more, or even at that get better if you're constantly answering?
Yeah.
Right?
You
like,
know, and
hold
now
on,
the
fool.
client's gonna be like, "What is this?"
Like
guy
you're always
doing?
on the phone with me,
Like,
you
you're
know?
always on
Yeah.
the phone.
So,
Like I don't need to hear that right now. Like I'm paying you right now.
Yeah.
And even if I'm asleep, I want you to still keep cutting.
keep
you know?
cutting, right? I got somewhere to
Yeah.
go. Yeah. So sometimes we gotta respect their time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like we get it.
It goes hand in hand, man, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't know that, and it's a chance for us to train them
Right.
and show them, but we can't feel bad either,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
because we're only one person. We
Right.
can only do so much
So
as a
much,
barber,
and then it is
you
what
know?
it is. Yeah.
and it's not that I want to cut you up. It's just, hey, you know the rules, man.
Yeah.
Like that's why I did the booking app. Like you could see a whole month in advance.
Advance,
A
yeah.
whole month. You know, we've grown. So
But yeah, man, I want to just thank you for giving us the opportunity
Yep.
to interview you, dog.
The time.
Your time. It sucks that we gotta go to work.
it's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. We'll catch up soon.
Yeah, but hopefully we'll have to do a second
Yeah.
time, you know? But like I said, like just the same way, we always try to work with people's schedule.
Yeah.
Everybody's busy.
Yeah.
Everybody got some family. So I don't like to tell people when
Yeah.
I can. No, like when can you?
Yeah.
Like that. I try to talk to
Because
him.
you know, you always conversate that we're, hey man, we got this. Say, hey, make it seem, bro. Talk to him. Let's see what day. You know, whatever day is
Yeah.
cool. It's like whenever he's free. It's like we can. If we can't, you know, we'll try to do it in the weekend.
Sometimes
You know.
I can and he can, and he'll be like, bro, if you can't, just do it then.
Yeah, that's why I was telling
And
him
I'll be like,
because
fuck, all right. Well, he
Yeah.
said he can only do this
Yeah.
day, then I gotta do it. You know, like
right.
something. Like I said,
Figure
like
it out.
we trying to figure it out. We're not trying to pressure nobody to my days and his
It
days.
don't.
Whatever we can off.
that's why I was telling man, hey, I can't this it, babe. Hey, go for it, dude. Do it. You know, you don't have to wait on me. It's like just jump on it, dude, and do it. You know, I always at home when I'm free, it's like, I watch it. You know, I was like, hey, he tells me, hey, how was it? I was like, dude, shit was clean.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So we want
right.
to thank you. Hopefully, we'll catch up
No
soon.
doubt.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Any
for
last
coming
words
out.
you want to finish off for the people?
Nah, man, just like I said, stay true to yourself, and barbering is gonna be here for a lifetime.
For a
Don't
lifetime.
be here
Forever.
man. I mean, it's one of the oldest professions. I mean, people were shaving each other back in the day with a little rock, you know,
Right,
and
yeah.
now we got straight razors,
Straight
we got
razors, everything.
machines, we got clippers,
There's everything now.
there's everything now to your disposal. So now it's really what you want to do with it. Honestly, you know, respect it, trust your craft, trust yourself, grow, give it all you got, because I mean, even now, like, I'm still pushing forward, and I know that I got my dreams and my goals, and anything's possible, man. I know
Yeah.
that barbering was frowned upon back then, but
was,
now we're finally getting that respect,
That
you know,
respect.
especially when the pandemic occurred. Now people knew what
Like,
we
oh
really,
shit, we missed him.
yeah, we really do need
Yeah.
people to make us look good,
Yeah.
you know, and
Even if you were at home, you still needed that fresh cut.
so no, I appreciate you guys coming out.
All right,
I mean,
bro.
I know this was a privilege for me, a first time thing for me to do one of these podcasts, and
Well, that's dope. I'm glad that we were the first. to
yeah,
start,
man,
you
this
know?
is a first for me, and
So-
believe it or not, it was overwhelming at first to I was like, oh man, I'm gonna do a podcast. Like, what does that feel like? You know,
Yeah.
because you always see them,
Yeah.
but now that like
Now you're
that
on
I'm
the-
behind the
and
mic, I'm like,
yeah,
oh, wait,
it's-
you know, if they can ask me something like,
No,
I mean-
so usually my podcast, like I told them, we don't try to dive in
Yeah.
personal. We like to keep it fun.
Yeah.
Like, cause, like I said, that's why I tell people it's not even an interview. It's
Yeah.
a podcast. We
Podcast.
hear it. I want to know your growth.
yeah,
Right.
And
Like,
it's like we even said, it's like, you know, we'll say certain things. You don't have to, you know, hey, you don't want to speak about it. Hey, that's the top thing, you know. Hey, we don't
Yeah.
say it. We don't talk about it.
because I
We
feel
just
like
keep
the
going.
podcast is too short anyway to even dive into personal.
Right.
I want to know your story, how you
Yeah.
went from point A to point
Point
B.
B.
yeah.
You know, like,
And even then, it's a long story,
and even
right?
then it's
And
a long
even-
story, as you
yeah.
can see, like, you know.
Yeah,
So
it's a long
I don't,
story,
like I
man.
said, I don't like to get into the negative side. Hey, what do you think about that, Barber? Because then it's we here for the positive. Because
Yeah.
I feel like the positive side of the interviewee will get me further than getting the negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm only here to. Basically, I'm here to grow from you. Like,
No,
damn,
of
that's how
course.
he did it. I'm gonna take from it. That's what Global did. I'm gonna take from it
Yeah.
and grow and show
Yeah.
people how, like, you went from this to this, and keep on growing.
No, yeah,
So,
man. It's for an ongoing growth. It's every day's a new day,
Every
man.
day's a
Barber
new day,
life
right.
it's never certain, right?
Right, right.
It's never certain.
Yeah,
You just
one
gotta
day
put
you
in
can
that
have
work.
20, one day you can
Yeah,
have one.
yeah.
It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But the hustle is still there.
The
So
hustle's there, man.
I want to thank you, and hopefully you keep on
Yeah.
doing great things,
I
bro.
appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
guys.
And we out.